Man, the sun needs to start coming out a little bit earlier because I gotta like drive around and wait for some sunlight to make my video, you know what I mean? So anyway, good morning. I ran into two old friends yesterday, man. Johnny Maniaci and Antonino John Domenico, man. Two awesome names, right? Anyway, I know these guys since I was like legitimately like second, third grade. Like my whole life, I know them. And I'm gonna tell you two awesome stories about both of them. Johnny, like, you know what I mean? Johnny was like, yo, you can give me a shout out. So I'm giving him a shout out. So first thing with Johnny, man, like, I learned something from Johnny, and I got to tell him yesterday, like, you know, Johnny's a little person, right? So Johnny used to go to these conventions, these little people conventions in Minnesota. I'll never forget this. This is years ago. And he wound up finding a wife. She's an awesome, awesome lady. Building a family, you know what I mean? And like, I always learned from that. I was like, yo, like, Johnny has no excuse for nothing, man. Like, Johnny's out here going after what he wants, creating what he wants. And like, that always inspired me, you know what I'm saying? It's amazing. So that's it. And then I remember, like, you know, they brought like one of the friends from there. We were at Casa Grande back in the day. We were dancing the whole night. Like, just great memories, great memories. But like I said, like, I always learn something from that. There's no excuse that I could ever come up with, that anybody can come up with. It doesn't matter what your circumstance, man. If you want it, go get it. End of story. And that's it. So, and also Johnny's one of those dudes, man, that got that dynamic personality that every time you leave him, you're feeling better, you know what I mean? So shout out to Johnny Maniaci and also your family, man. Great people. Great people. Antonino has another great family. It's a great Italian family. Check out that sky in the back. When I was little, I used to not want to knock on the door because like the parents had such a strong Italian accent, you know. I'd be like, hi, it's like Antonino, is Paolo home? Like, you know what I mean? And it was like intimidating. But my story about them is about Antonino's dad. So my mom used to work at John Wanamaker's, like where they had that big eagle. And upstairs there was a restaurant, it was a caboose, like a train caboose. I used to love going in there. I was little. And Antonino's dad, he worked as a tailor downstairs at John Wanamaker's. Always dressed to the T. He was like a Don Juan, like just dressed to the T. Polished shoes, crease in the pants, always just to the nine, you know what I mean? But my point with this story is, you know, when I was young, my mom lost both her parents. Like, you know, my dad and her separated when I was 30 days old. Like, you know, my mom was like young and afraid, you know what I mean? Like, so she didn't have the best confidence back then. Now she does. She's done so much work on herself. But my point is, my mom used to feel like inferior to some people, man. And I took that on. And in a way, like, I took it on and then I came into the world, like, F the world, you know what I mean? Like, don't mess with my mom, you know what I mean? But Antonino's dad always showed my mom so much respect. And my mom would come home from work all the time and she would tell me that she saw him and he really showed her love and made my mom feel good about herself, you know what I mean? And now, when I look at my mom's at now, she's a confident, happy, great woman, you know what I mean? And it's pretty cool. So I wanted to share those two stories because running into them yesterday was pretty awesome. And it made me think of that. And I told both of them that story, you know? So shout out to both of the families. I feel like a mafioso. Shout out to both of the families, you know what I mean? Yeah. So much love, guys. Listen, Saturday, you got 2 days now with this weekend, unless you work like me, who's always grinding. But, you know what I mean? Do something for yourself. Get some push-ups in. I'm going to buy some new sneakers this weekend. I need some new sneaks. I need some new jeans, and I need new tees. That could be a shirt. New shoes, No, no, no. No snakes, no chains, no teas. Later.